But we'll see what he does in New York. Let's go down I-95 to Washington, D.C., and the Washington Wizards with the new backcourt of Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. The over-under is at 33.5 with Davis Bertans and Rui Hachimura, and that the I don't know if I thought Thomas Bryant would be better, but if he can be a better player on the court, I think a younger core with a Troy Brown Jr. and what's the brother that they signed? How am I forgetting this already? I can't believe I'm forgetting who we're talking about here with the Washington Wizards.
Is it Danny?
No, Robin Lopez. Wow.
They got the mascot assassin. Right. Who can forget?
Yeah, Robin Lopez and then Denny. I think that is a good squad that, again, I would take the over at 33.5 for the Washington Wizards.
I am right there with you. I mean, you talk about Thomas Bryant. He was amazing in the bubble when everyone had packed it up for Washington and had gone home, wanted to keep their extension safe. You know, Bryant balled out. He's got that blue collar energy. He can get buckets, go to the perimeter, and I'm going to support that over bet, but I would rather keep shopping, find those Wizards playoff odds, because this is a playoff team and it's an easy 6 seed. They've got shooting, they've got athleticism, and they've got the perfect complement to Bradley Beal in Russell Westbrook. Russell finally figured out how to play in the second half of last season, pre-bubble in Houston, and I think he's a perfect complement to Beal. And this is Beal's arrival. He's the most underrated player in the NBA. They've got Ray Allen 2.0, and he's going to be a 30 point per game scorer on excellent shooting percentages. I love this team.
My only issue that concerns me about the Washington Wizards is, in some ways, the reason why it didn't seem to work out in Houston. Well, first of all, it probably was because Mike D'Antoni was like, I'm just leaving. I'm just done. And Daryl Morey said, I'm done. But we know that with Russell Westbrook, that a lot of Harden's minutes, he wasn't touching the ball as much as he did before. And I think when you look at Bradley Beal and what you saw out of him last year, second in the league points per game at 30 points per game, those numbers may end up coming down. Bradley Beal was used to having the ball in his hands, but when you saw Russell Westbrook in the bubble, and even before the bubble, he was better, but in the bubble, he's not a 2. He's not really going to play well off the ball. He needs the ball in his hands, and I feel like that's where the adjustment is going to be, that Bradley Beal is going to say, okay, wait, am I almost going back to it's a wash with Wall and Westbrook, as much as Beal is not going to be in control of that offense anymore.
But I think this is a team where Russell Westbrook doesn't deserve the negative connotations that are associated with him. He showed me that he's able to adapt his game last season. In that Houston situation, there couldn't be a more toxic situation. You have an international conflict with China. You have an owner who lost all their money in the pandemic, and you're asking these guys to figure it out in a toxic structure with everything oriented towards Harden. No, James is the one who's making everything crazy there. Russell was just a bystander. He was put into a situation no one wanted to adjust to him. And now I think if everyone's able to sublimate their egos a little bit, this is a really wonderful 8-man rotation. This is how basketball teams should look like in 2020. It's a better team than the Indiana Pacers. This is your 6th seed, ladies and gentlemen.
6th seed. Wow. To make the playoffs, you got Washington at, yes, minus 110 on DraftKings, but no at minus 110. So it's like, yeah, they couldn't.
Yeah, and I love the Southeastern Conference. There's so many teams who are doing it right. So I'm a grade A NBA nerd. The wonderful storyline I look forward to this season is the arms race between Atlanta and Washington to really establish themselves as an Eastern contender.
Mm-hmm. Another one who really has more of a legitimate shot as establishing themselves as the number 1 seed possibly for the East is the Philadelphia 76ers, because they